Here's the pitch I made in Pitchfest in New York City this weekend for the dAdt to Tell series of books. There are 3 of them. Logline: the parents of a William and Mary freshman in 1961 are told in a shocking, disruptive way that their son is gay and is expelled, but he recovers enough to finish college, get drafted even, and play a significant part in the 2010 repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. The plot: the parents of an 18-year-old arrive to visit him, their only child, a freshman at William and Mary, over Thanksgiving weekend in 1961. After Thanksgiving dinner, they leave to visit other friends in another city. Meanwhile, on Black Friday evening, the Dean of Men mysteriously calls the young man in based on suspicions from the dorm and rumors about his alleged homosexuality from the dorm, and he admits to latent homosexuality. The dean disrupts his parents with a surprise weekend phone call, disturbing their weekend in another city with friends. The son is expelled. Despite an initial belief that homosexuality is unmentionable, over time the parents become pragmatic. The son finishes GWU while living at home, then graduate school, then gets drafted and actually has to go through special training in the Army because he's a little bit subpar physically, but becomes independent enough as a computer programmer, later a writer and music composer, to come out a second time, be effective as an AIDS volunteer in the 1980s, but then play an important role in the 2010 repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. His mother finally understands what he was trying to do on the last day of her life as she passes away in December 2010 in a hospice. Now, the philosophical meaning of all of this has to do with the fact that the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy and the military ban tended to expand into other issues, basically having to do with shared sacrifice, when the individual has to make sacrifices of his own agency for the good of the group, particularly with respect to the draft and conscription as it was back then, particularly made uneven by the deferment system then. It also has to do with, it also parallels some issues today, LGBTQ and others in some ways.